I don't know what they feeling, I don't know what they thinking. Bro, my soul's invincible like Mario when he blanket.
Since it's my birthday, show some extra love. So yeah, I mean, you can comment happy birthday, like, share, subscribe, you know. But this question's been on my mind for a while and I wanted to ask it, and the question is, what would you trade for peace? She might be like, Kamari, what am I defining as peace? And there's a Greek word used in the Bible, it's irene. And some of the definitions for that word is an undisturbedness or a tranquil state within your soul, right? So tranquility meaning like no matter what's going on around you, you're stable, you're secure. You know, I think that, at least in my life, I can say there's a lot of things I looked to that I thought would give me that stability, that state of being at peace with everything. Like I looked for it in my status and friendships, relationships, sex, drugs, money, all of these things, but really all of them left me wanting, and I had to sacrifice something to gain them, right? It was never like, oh, if I have X amount of excess money and I can do whatever I want, I'm okay there. Like, it's like, no, I made this much money, so how much more money can I make? And if you really think about it, right, like, let's say I'm trying to obtain this status of wealth, you know, and I'm gonna do anything to get that status because I think that's gonna give me peace, right? I can give up my time, my health, you know, my family, all to obtain this item that I think is going to make my life complete, that I think is going to satisfy me or fulfill me, you know, and in giving up those things, right, it could destroy my relationships with my family because I'm never around. My time, right, let's say I gain that wealth, but in order to maintain that, all of my time has to go to earning money. Then what am I living for? I'm living for that money, and now that item has control over my time. My health, I could work myself until I'm dead just to obtain this thing that when I die, I can't take it. So it's like, what is it really worth to have that peace within your soul, the peace within your mind and your heart, to be just at peace within yourself? And all my escapades or all my life of, you know, just living like everyone else. I've done many different things and I'm not proud of everything I've done, and nor do I condone or endorse things that I used to do, but they have helped me learn in the good things and the bad things I've done. And in looking for peace or contentment within my soul in anything you could think of, man, like literally anything, you know. I used to be a different person than the guy that sits in front of these cameras talking to you, like, and people that know me then, you know, I'm sure they can see the change, and it's not me that changed me, it's God. But in all of that, I was looking for peace, and I didn't know that I was looking for peace. I didn't know that I was trying to fill myself or fill this empty void that I felt within myself with all of these items, or with whether it be people, an item, or a level of status. You know, I thought those things would complete me and make me feel whole. But really the only thing that completed me was Jesus. And when I surrendered and gave up my life and what I thought life should be, is when I obtained peace. And as I say that, don't think that I'm saying like everything in my life is going how I wanted it or how I may have envisioned it, or as like I said, right, it's my 24th birthday. Ask me when I was 15 where I would be at right now and where I actually am, two different things, but I'm okay with that. And the ability to be okay with that, even though it isn't what I want, is what I got from Jesus, and that's that peace that no matter what is going on around me, I can be content. So how do I do that? How do I do what you did and change my life and get rid of the emptiness that I feel? And I would say that the only way to do that is to surrender everything to God. Everything, the ideas that you have, your lifestyle, you know, even your thought pattern. and you gotta give it up, because you can think, right? There's it's a proverb or a psalm, and it says, there is a way which seems right to the man, but in the end it leads to death. Meaning, right, there's a way in our mind that seems like this is the right path, it seems like this is what we should be doing, but in the end it's just gonna lead to our destruction, right? And some of you may not want to change, you may not want to let go of things. Then you're gonna be in that consistent state of wanting, but never being satisfied, always longing for something, but it never fulfilling you. And to be honest, for me, like, it's not worth it. And I'll be honest with you, like, when I lived a life full of sin and just did whatever I wanted and whatever I pleased, was it fun? Yeah, but there was also hard times, and when things were going bad, I had nothing to lean on, right? Because my old coping mechanism used to be smoking weed, going to a party, getting drunk, or doing any of those types of things, but it never filled that emptiness. It just numbed it. I just knew how to numb myself. And eventually I got to the point where, like, numbing wasn't good enough. And at that point, that was when I was ready to let it go, because what's the point? What's the point in just living a life? It's like worthless. And not to say if you're living that lifestyle, right, you're worthless. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there is no benefit to it. There is no benefit to going out and partying all the time. There's no benefit to taking all these drugs, right? It gives you a temporary, short-term fulfillment that doesn't satisfy the itch or the craving you have for it. It only makes you want it more. So it really leaves you bound. You're chained to it, And once you're really stuck in there, bro, it's hard. It's not easy to get out of that. And I'm thankful to God that He changed me. And there's this verse, right? It's John 14:27. It says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." Right? And that word for peace is the irene, the tranquil state of your soul. That's what Jesus gives, so that your heart doesn't have to be troubled, so you don't have to worry. Why do I not have to worry? Because I know He knows everything I need. He knows everything about me. He knows me better than I know myself, so I don't need to concern myself with all these things outside of my control. But when I focus directly on Him, He changes me. He changes what I view, how I act, how I behave, how I think. And in that, He gives me peace, right? And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I just wouldn't, because I've lived my life apart from God, and now living it with God. Apart from God, yeah, I had more, what you might think is freedom, but really, I destroyed myself in that freedom, because the boundaries that God creates is to prevent us from hurting ourselves. And staying within His boundaries has gave me peace. It's given me real love, joy, contentment, the ability to be okay even when things around me aren't how I want them to be. That's a gift. And it comes from Jesus, from focusing on Him. Right? And there's another verse I just want to leave y'all with. If you're going through it, if you're struggling, if you don't know what to do and you're lost, I'm gonna just leave you with this. It's Matthew 11:28-30. "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Again, right, to go back to that tranquility, that peace in your soul. Come to Jesus and He will give you rest in your soul. He will ask you to surrender your life. You will have to give up something, but you'll gain everything. And when I say everything, I don't mean these material items or what our normal culture would say is everything or we should be achieving. No, I mean everything within your soul, contentment within your heart. I mean, I promise you, there's nothing you'd want to trade that for. But if you don't know what you're doing, or you feel lost, hopeless, seek Jesus and let Him change you. Well, that's the video, y'all. I'll catch y'all. Peace.
Said that you don't got the victory over us now. No.
Yeah. All my life they always looked at me like I was perfect.